Hello my dear students, today we are going to discuss all the important question answers from The Portrait of a Lady. Here we are going to include question answers from The Portrait of a Lady and a photograph as well. Here I have made this video with value points which you have to underline while writing your answers. So without wasting time, let us begin with our video. Question number 1, very important question. Character sketch of the grandmother. Here first of all you will write about appearance of the grandmother, which was she was old, wrinkled, short height she had, and she was a bit fat as well. She had white hair locks and she wore white dress. She chanted prayers, she visited temple, she read scriptures, and she helped Khushwant Singh in his daily chores. She was very generous. She was gentle and polite. She was very responsible and caring. She was non-interfering, very conservative, then practical and realistic. She was blessed with strong willpower, intuitive and stoic. Explanation I have already done in another video. So here I am going to just focus on value points. Let's move to another question. Justify the title The Portrait of a Lady. Yes, the title is justified because it focuses on grandmother beginning till end. Homage to grandmother of Khushwant Singh. It shows vivid portrait in true sense. It talks about details of life and personality and his emotive association with grandmother. Let's move ahead. Describe the 3 phases of the author's relationship with his grandmother before he left the country to study abroad. You must mention the first phase of friendship where both of them were together, dawn to dusk. Then grandmother looked after him. She accompanied him everywhere. Here we find close bonding. Okay. Next we see fading of friendship. Grandmother could not help him in city syllabus. Then could not accompany him to the school because bus was available. Next we find she did not approve of music lessons because it was the activity of harlots. Okay. Next we find snapping of friendship. Khushwant Singh was given a separate room so that he can focus on studies. No interaction like before, like village. Okay. Khushwant Singh and grandmother, both of them had separated from each other under one roof. Grandmother secluded herself. She did not show her annoyance to anyone. She adjusted in that situation. She secluded herself and she started devoting her time in other things. Let's move to the next question. Why was grandmother upset in city? Here you must mention because all those stuffs were impractical. There were no teachings about God and scriptures. Apart from that, very importantly, there were lessons on music. All these three points made her annoyed and upset. Next question is, how did the grandmother spend her days, especially in city? She prayed whole day, she continued spinning wool, and she fed sparrows. Sparrows had become her true friend in her isolation. Next question, do you think the grandmother was religious? Yes, we do think so because she carried a rosary with her all the time. She was busy telling the beads of rosary. She prayed whole day even while giving shower to Khushwant Singh. She was religious lady because she religiously followed this routine. Next question is, would you agree that the author's grandmother was a person strong in character? Yes, because she was mentally and morally strong. She fulfilled her duties well. She did not reveal her unhappiness. She adapted with new phase of her life. She did not show any emotion openly to anyone. She accepted the inevitable just before her death. The grandmother herself was not formally educated but was serious about the author's education. How does the text support this? Grandmother had not received formal education, but she could read scriptures. For grandson's education, she took him to the village temple. She inquired about city education, what kind of syllabus they followed. Then she became a bit annoyed. She wanted to help, but she could not because of this first reason, that she was not formally educated. She hated music lessons. All these proves that she was very serious about Khushwant Singh's education. Let's move towards poetry, a photograph, which is written by Shirley Tulson. In the question about theme, you must write impermanence of human life, which is represented by poet's mother, and permanence of nature, which is represented by sea. Okay. Next important question is literary devices or rhetoric devices in the poetry. There are many, so we will start with alliteration. Alliteration is repetition of consonant sound. Remember that. And repetition of vowel sound is assonance. Okay. So let us focus on alliteration here. We find th sound in three, through. Okay. And then s sound in still, stood, still, smile. Okay. So here repetition of s sound and th sound is seen. Next we find repetition of t sound. Okay. Terribly transient. So here this is also alliteration. Next, silence, silences, repetition of s sound. Alright. Next is oxymoron. Oxymoron is when we place two contradictory words side by side, that gives effect of oxymoron. So here we find labored is in this sentence. Okay. Personification. It's silent silences. Here it represents photograph, which is inanimate, and it is given human attribute of silence. Okay, therefore it is personification. It's silence. Photographs silence. Silences human being. That is poet. Okay. Let's move to the next question. What does the word cardboard denote in the poem? Cardboard denotes photograph, which shows mother's sweet memory. What has the camera captured? The moment of poet's mother, pleasant memory, which is non-revertible. It was windy day, which was swaying hairlock of all the three girls. Next question. What has not changed over the years? Does this suggest something to you? C has not changed in these years, and C represents nature. Poet's mother represents human being, and they are bound to change. Okay, human being, which is represented by poet's mother, is no more. So it shows human life is here on earth for transient period, for a short period of time, but nature is eternal. Okay, the elements which we have read in our scriptures, in our epic books, we find it now as well with slight changes. Next question is, the poet's mother laughed at the snapshot. What did this laugh indicate? Students, here her laugh indicates that she was aware of the fact that time was fast moving. You have to mention this particularly, okay? It was fast moving. Its memory, that is permanent, in comparison to human life. The memory which is connected with the photograph is permanent. Question number 7. What is the meaning of the line both rye with the labored ease of loss? Here, mother laughs at the fleeting moments that has long passed, which cannot be relived again. Both of them feel nostalgic about their past. Mother is thinking about her past moment, pleasant moment at sea beach, and poetess is remembering her mother's association with her. Both had to accept inevitability of life. Both of them, they are well aware that past cannot be reverted back in their life again. Therefore, they accepted their present with heavy heart. Question number 8. What does this circumstance refer to? It refers to the death of mother. It shows that mother is matured enough to understand death is a part of one's life. It shows she is matured enough to understand that death is a part of one's life. It shows poet's helplessness. Question number 9. The 3 stanzas depict 3 different phases. What are they? First of all, let's focus on mother. Mother's childhood is shown. Then mother's middle age is discussed. Then death of mother. Simultaneously, we find when poet was not born, poet's childhood and poet's adulthood. Okay, these are the 3 phases. Question number 10. What did the poet reminisce? She reminisced her mother's happy moments with her cousin, sisters, Betty and Dolly. Photograph, a piece of paper, showed its power of holding sweet and sour memories. So these are the 10 important questions. Students, all the best for your examination. Thank you.